want to work this workshop through the question of what is improvisation? Because last time we touched on movement research, and we spoke a little bit about how improvisation and the improvisation we've been doing sort of can be included in that. And there we're sort of considering improvisation maybe as a method, not necessarily as an outcome. And of course, these things are blurry, right? Like sometimes the method can become the thing that we enjoy the most, and vice versa, right? So improvisation, it can be a way of producing knowledge. It can be a way to reflect after the doing, not before, right? Like we can do, and then it allows us to consider after, use our intuition. It can also be research through doing, noticing, repetition. There's also a question of like, when does improvisation even begin? If we're thinking about invitation and consent, as we spoke about, when does it start? And who and or what invites the movement? So what is the actual thing causing it? When does participation feel allowed? And when does it feel withdrawn, right? So when we're improvising, what is permissible? What is shaping the allowance and the acceptability? And also, improvisation can be considered as an ongoing negotiation rather than a singular expression, right? It's a continuous relationship with all the choreographies we're sort of relating to. Also, improvisation always follows something, right? It follows a rule, a habit, a sensation, a memory, a voice. So in some ways, improvisation is choreographed, right? It has a choreographic relationship, but that authority is complicated. It's not as singular. We don't have one person maybe taking full responsibility of everything that happens. There's more autonomy given to the dancer, whereas in choreography there is more of a consensus that the responsibility lies more with the choreographer rather than the dancer. So in improvisation we see there is a lot of choreography happening, but the authority is somehow more weighted in some ways. And authority can be internal, external, imagined, or environmental as well, as we have previously sort of explored. And then improvisation can also be considered a practice of responsibility, of taking care, of listening to the moment and responding. So there's a sort of ethical nature to it. Freedom doesn't mean the absence of care, right? It could even be the opposite. It could be the freedom that is provided with improvisation, in fact, provides more ability to be reactive and responsive and responsible in a way. And then listening to limits as compositional material, right? Like whilst we're improvising, those responsibilities and considerations of risk and safety can actually be the material that is composing our choreography. Just the limitations of our own body sort of provide that. Improvisation is not always the absence of choreography. It is choreography happening in real time. So what is choreography? Sorry, that's a previous workshop. What is improvisation? Sorry. Improvisation is decision-making in time. Improvisation is attention before expression. Improvisation is composition without rehearsal, but not without structure, perhaps. Improvisation is play with consequences. Improvisation is not originality, but response. So when you improvise, what are you actually following? And I think this can be our first little exploration with all these different associations to what improvisation can and could be. Let's start with, when you improvise, what do you actually follow? And start as broad as that. Start perhaps by not moving at all, standing still, or jumping straight into the first initial things, and see what you are following and what you're not following, maybe, just to add to that. So go away, have a go, improvise for a little bit, dance in whatever way you wish, and see what you are actually following. Okay, great. Now we're back, and hopefully you noticed a few things that you are following. And I'd like now to do a sort of reflective moment, take a moment to write down some of the things that occurred. This can be a sort of automatic writing, just writing without thinking. Do it for 2 minutes, 1 minute, or just take your time, however long you wish, and write the different things that you feel as though you're following when you improvise. Do that, and we'll continue after. Great. So now we have our list, or our description of what we have been following, or what we think we might be following. Now I'd like you to take 1 or 2 of those things and try to just follow that, and see how that shapes, and see whilst we are following that one thing. Say, for example, you found that you are following sound. Maybe there's music playing, or there's sounds in the room, and you're listening and you're following that, and that's one of the things that you find is actually acting on you when you follow that this time. Or perhaps you follow ideas of good, like good ways of moving that you have learnt from your past. This time, if those are the things, then just follow those. And as you follow just that one thing, then see what else you are actually following. See what else is sort of occurring when you try to be really specific in your improvisation, and see how choice affects it, how memory affects it, how the environment affects it, how mood affects it, how distraction, how attention affects it. And just play there for a bit with the consequences of this task. So what is improvisation? Is it spontaneous? Is it decision making in time? Is it the attention before expression? Is it composition without rehearsal but with a type of structure? Is it play with consequence? Is it not originality but response? I don't know. But what I think we can say is it's a type of choreography. It's a type of dancing. It's something that we can lean into more or less and explore. Perhaps see if you can write down a definition for yourself of what improvisation is for you, or write a little description of the difficulties of really describing and saying what improvisation is. I think if you look it up in the dictionary, it will say something around like spontaneity, but go a little bit deeper and articulate what is improvisation for you in your dancing. Is it something that is terrifying? Is it something that you can do alone? Is it something that you would never want to perform? Is it a method more than an outcome, or is it an outcome? Is it the way in which you dance? Even if you have a set choreography, is improvisation in fact the way in which you perform the dance? Is it the way in which you dance the dance? Is there always an element of play and response to rules and consent and attention? Yeah. Thank you for today, and I'll speak to you again soon.